How's it going, guys? This is Jesus Rodriguez. This is week 4 perception, and I'll be answering the question that followed the look up video. First, I'll explain what the perception process is. So, you have 3 steps. The first step is to select the information to focus your attention on. That could be something you are considering stimulating, important, or something that changes your expectations of something. From there, you organize the information into an understandable pattern. So you're collecting these puzzle pieces of information and you're creating a picture of it. That is going to be your interpretation. So the last step is to interpret the meaning of that pattern. This is a process that we go through anytime we need to make a perception of something that could be of a person or of the environment that we're in. The next question is going to be based on the video. Essentially, what I saw in that video was a lot of people just looking at their phones and almost completely oblivious to the world happening around them. Based on the first step, which is select, I do think that they were selecting something, and that was essentially on their phone, so that was something they were considering either stimulating or important to them, and more so than anything that was happening around them at the time. What's not happening is they're completely missing out on life altogether. Any perceptions they could be making of the real world that they're currently in, instead of something that may be fabricated that they're looking at on their phones. They're completely missing out on the people, the events, the environment that they're in, and they're kind of just letting life flow by without actually paying attention to anything that's going on. The next question is, does this type of situation impact my life? It does impact my life. I think it might actually impact everybody's life. It's weird to me to be in a room with somebody but not actually be in the room with them. During our lunch breaks, we all kind of like get together, and a lot of times I see people just immediately take out their phones, and you have like this really weird silent part that's happening, and nobody's saying anything. Everybody's looking at their phones. Essentially, every once in a while, you'll have somebody start giggling at something that they saw. So you're there, but you're not there. You're not actually making any connections with anybody. You're kind of just sitting in a room, doing different things, not together. This is something that I myself will admit that I do every once in a while. It usually happens during times where I'm in an environment that I don't quite feel comfortable in. So, like if I'm in a crowd of people that I don't know who any of them are, I might take out my phone, and that might be my little like comfort and solace. But it is something that I'm trying to focus on cutting out altogether, because I do kind of feel like there are times where I am missing out on being with somebody and communicating with them and building a relationship with them, because I'm looking at a screen that I honestly don't really care about. The next question is, how are the social roles impacted by perceptual accuracy? So, looking at your phone, you kind of miss a lot of things that are happening around in your life. You're missing out on chances to build relationships with people around you, and you're missing chances to perceive what's happening in your environment. So you're kind of just looking at a screen, and you're looking at social media, and you're looking at these news feeds and stuff, and you're looking at something that is most likely fabricated. So it's meant to look like something to appeal to certain people. So you're not actually getting the full picture. You're only getting bits and pieces, and from there you're having to perceive and make an assumption of something based off of something on your phone instead of maybe actually going out and talking to that person, or reaching out and having a conversation about it, and maybe learning somebody else's viewpoint on it instead of, what's just being told to you. Do I see this situation having an impact on current and future interpersonal communication in society? Yes. I think that we're at a point where it's beginning to be a social norm to not communicate with somebody. We're in a world where you can order food online. You don't even need to go to the library anymore to check out books. You can do that online. You can do you can buy furniture online, and you don't ever have to talk to anybody. We're getting to a point where we don't want to communicate with anybody anymore, and it's considered strange when somebody has, short talk, or if somebody has a conversation with somebody they've never met. So, like in my instance, there's times at work where I'll get into a conversation with somebody and I don't really know them, and a friend of mine will walk by and they'll ask me if I know who they are, and I'll say no, and they'll look at me like I have two heads. It's definitely something that's impacting us now, and I kind of see it going one of two ways. Either we can learn from this and kind of turn back to a time where we were able to communicate with each other and kind of build relationships with one another, or it'll get to a point where it's seen as abnormal to sit down face to face and talk with somebody. And I think that's it. So my name is Jesus Rodriguez. Thanks for watching my video. Sorry if I ranted. And have a good week.